production bridge all the way up to send them off balance.
All right, gang. Good job.
We are the only country in the world that polices like this. And I think somewhere along the line, we've lost what we originally took this job for. Overwhelming majority of us, if you go back and pull our initial interviews on why we wanted to do this, overwhelmingly, we all said the same thing. We all wanted to make our community a better place to live. Today, for some reason, we've switched out of the guardian mentality and we've become warriors. And that's not what American policing was founded on. My name is Mike Chitwood. I am the police chief here in Daytona Beach, and I have been here for the past 10 years. We have a year-round population of around 63,000 people. Our daytime population is around 120,000, and we get roughly 8 to 9 million visitors a year. Every special event that occurs, Bike Week, Spring Break, Daytona 500, Coke Zero 400 in the summer, Biketoberfest, you name it, every special event comes here, which brings a lot of people in from the outside, and that is what drives our crime wheel. When I got here, one of the things I was huge on was we are going to do our job, and our job is really simply this. Not a fancy word for community relations. Our job is to solve problems.
Go the whole time. Keep going, back to back. You gotta survive.
The key with the use of force anywhere is proportionality. Would you use an elephant gun to kill a flea? The challenges are always we are human beings, and sometimes we're asked to make a split-second decision, and sometimes we could be wrong. Unfortunately, those things are going to happen. The question is, how much do we mitigate them? And the way to mitigate them is through a philosophy in your department that the sanctity of human life comes first. We talked about proportionality. You talk about rendering first aid. I mean, you know, we are held to a higher standard for a reason. It's kind of difficult, and I know this having been involved in 2 police shootings, it's kind of difficult to have somebody fire at you from point blank range and you shoot him, and then you want to turn the switch off and try to do everything you can to save his life. But you know what? That's what we're required to do. The next thing we did was we brought in accountability tools, CompStat being number 1, computerized statistical analysis of crime. It's up to every single officer to know what is going on in their sector or their area of assignment and come up with fast, favorable solutions. And the other thing is body cameras was huge for us. We were the first police department in the state of Florida to go live with the body camera program. We have 150 of them out there. Complaints against police have plummeted. We'll probably have plummeted by 75%. That's the good news. The bad news is, for a police administrator, be prepared for the downside. You're going to see things on that camera that are going to cause you to take pause and look back at how you're trained and whether or not that officer needs to belong in the organization anymore. The big thing in police work that nobody realizes is that first bit of information, that 911 call that you get, it's not sometimes right. It's not most of the time right. It's always wrong. And if you're operating on that first piece of information and you're flying in at 100 miles an hour with wrong information, you're going to make a wrong decision. You can chase a guy down, and you can arrest him, and you can tackle him, and then you handcuff him, you pick him up, and you get him medical attention. You don't have to belittle him. You don't have to slam him into the ground. You don't have to give him an extra shot for posterity purposes. Get him up and get him to jail. I have 2 rookie officers that are dispatched to a person with a knife trying to stab people. And when the officers arrive on location, he is a patient, a psychiatric patient who was off on a crack cocaine binge. He was walking around trying to stab people in through their house, through their front door. One of the officers had encountered him months before and knew him.
Why don't you chill out, Derek?
One officer got out with less than lethal. One officer had their firearm at the ready, and they started giving commands. And the guy keeps coming at them and screaming at them and everything else. And eventually, when he gets close enough, they tase him. He goes to the ground. They get the knife off of him. They secure him. The neighbors on the video are like, I cannot believe you didn't shoot him. Why did you not shoot him? He's crazy. There's no way you could have stopped him like that. You had to shoot him. And the officer's like, no, we know what we were doing. 2 months later, I'm biking through the same neighborhood, and who's sitting on one of the steps but this guy? Hey, Chitwood, how you doing, man? And you wanted to say, you dumb son of a bitch, do you realize how close you came to getting killed? But here he is, back on his meds, sitting on the front step, waving at the police chief as he's driving by saying hello. How close he came to being killed.
Hey, Sheriff, we have a question about why your office, your intelligence division, is investigating private citizens for criminal investigation that happen to be activists that are overseeing your department. Why would you have your intelligence division investigate private citizens? We have done...
For life hating so much.
Sir, we don't hate anyone. We love freedom and we love American people. And government is out of control. That's why you're seeing such a revolt nationwide. Why can't you just answer, why is Susan Edwards, your intelligence division, investigating private citizens? This should not happen.
Are you here to apply for a job?
Possibly I might be applying for a job, but that's irrelevant to my question. Why would you ask that question?
Well, enjoy the fair.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Excuse you?
Excuse me, sir.
So those of you that haven't
Wow.
been on a bike before, we're
Sheriff's
just
getting a little too pushy.
is
You
the
work
hard
for
part.
us, Sheriff.
In
Just
keeping
keep that in mind. At one time we respected you, but not with that type of attitude.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheep up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County COPWATCH with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if some, if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a, let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, you know, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, you know, at least I can do it. You know, 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea, too, that we have is, you know, if I got, you know, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. You know, 47,000 of you so far right now. You know, $1 a day. I mean, $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.